how's everyone doing tonight? Hope you all are pumped for this stream, because we're gonna make some major headway in the story. You're cold? Yeah, I'm cold too. I've been cold all day, even though I put multiple pairs of socks on. Alright, I think we're ready to go ahead and get into the game. At least I am. There we go. So far, having met up with future Luke, Layton and the others aim to sneak into future Layton's base. But first, they need to find a way past the henchmen guarding the entrance to Chinatown. And to do that, we're gonna employ the very Cartoon Network solution of getting the parrot to imitate their boss's voice and make them leave. Let's see. There's no crime to be organized in a peaceful park like this. How terribly boring. If things are too slow for you here, why not move to someplace more exciting? Would if I could, boy, but I can't very well leave my post here. In that case, why not use your time here to do something productive? Well, I often make up puzzles when I have some time for myself. Here, I'll share one with you. Puzzle number 59, Leapfrogs. Oh, sweet! Okay, I've done this puzzle like a million times, like just different variations of it in like other games and stuff. It's a pretty popular premise. 4 frogs are sitting atop logs in a bog. Leap them around so that each frog's color matches the ribbon tied to its post. 3 rules you need to follow. You can hop to any empty adjacent log, there's an empty frog. If there's an empty log 1 frog over, you can leap over 1 frog to get there. You can't leap over 2 frogs at a time. Okay, yeah, like this premise is like, I don't know, I feel like I've seen it in a lot of like Flash games and stuff. Definitely doing too many moves here, but it don't really matter.
How about this? I knew it!
Hip hop, hooray! Were you able to do it in only 8 moves? No, I was not. That's some brain you've got there, boy. I like you, so I'm going to give you some advice that may just save your hide someday. Stay away from the family. I'm a nice guy, but I can't say the same for the men I work with. Stay out of our way, and you've got nothing to worry about. Marth got the delivery quest Silky's Coffee. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can do this new parrot. Oh, I'm already, like, missing a couple of these. Let's see if I can get this man his coffee. I wonder if I can, like, rocket... I just want to see if this will, like, rocket him over the... No, it just sends him tumbling into the abyss. Okay. So never mind that, then. What does this do? Oh, also tumbling into the abyss. So then the obvious choice is to do this. Let's see how that happens. Oh no! Oh no, dude. What will this do? That was closer, but still ultimately tumbling into the abyss. So I can do that, but that just prevents him from getting there entirely. Okay. I was hoping it might be different that time. Okay, let's try this. Still... This poor bird. There's really... Well, maybe there is. If I can, like, kind of rocket him up high enough, I bet he can go over this bar instead of shooting through the, like, shooting the gap here. Maybe I can't. Now that might be helpful. I don't know, I kind of like this line here. I think I need to keep it. Alright, I'm gonna come back to this one in a minute. I want to take care of the picture book, 'cause I don't think I've touched it, like, at all since we got it. Okay. On Sunday morning, I was strolling through a meadow. There was a plum tree on my right, and it was a boot in the middle of the path, and a yellow thing to the left, which could be a banana or a hat, but we don't know yet. I walked to a square with a dead tree. Okay, we have the man there. Okay, so now he got his hat back. Take this as my way of saying thanks. It fell out of this dead tree. He can't hand me a plum from a dead tree, so he's gonna have to hand me a plum from a plum tree. Let's put the dead tree in the park there. Hand me a plum from the plum tree. That sounds good. And with that, I continued strolling through the meadow. After a short time, I bumped into a person, so I said, I found this boot, and I'm looking for the person who dropped it. The person hesitated a moment before replying. I can't help you, but there's a white house at the path. Try asking over there. Curious as to whether the boot belonged to someone in the White House, I walked over to it and knocked on the door. A kindly-looking woman opened it and said, "Hello there, can I help you?" Peeking inside, I couldn't help but notice there was a tasty-looking yellow thing. I believe that should be a banana. I found this boot. I'm looking for its owner, I replied. Oh yes, that boot belongs to my grandson. Thank you ever so much. She handed me the banana as a reward. Okay, then this should be the girl. Oh, does that mean we got it? Okay, now let's read the completed book. Lost and Found, starring Luke Triton. One sunny morning, I was strolling through a meadow. There was a tasty-looking girl on the table. I think that's a very different kind of story. So I approached a dead tree on my right and noticed a boot in the middle of the path and a hat to the left. I wonder who dropped these, I thought to myself. I decided I couldn't just leave them there. I walked to a square with a plum tree in its center. Next to the plum tree, I saw a man frantically picking something up, so I said, I'm looking for someone who has dropped some items. Have you noticed anyone who fits this description? The mustache man glanced at the items I was holding and replied, Sorry. Oh, so that's where my hat went. Thanks for returning it to me. Take this as my way of saying thanks. It fell out of this plum tree, said the man, while handing me a delicious-looking plum. And with that, I continued strolling through the meadow. After a short time, I bumped into a girl, so I said I found this boot and I'm looking for the person who dropped it. The girl hesitated a moment before replying, I can't help you, but there's a White House just up the path. Try asking over there. I said my thanks and hurried on. Okay. Yep, hand the banana as a reward. Oh, and now we've got the ending. It was a good day. I returned 2 lost items to their owners and received a delicious plum and banana as a reward. I was so happy that I couldn't help but whistle and felt like I could walk all day long. Alright, so that's cute. Now let's hit up the second one. I work in a little cafe. One day, the manager in charge of the place stepped out, leaving me to run the shop. Before stepping out the door, the manager said to me, "I'm relying on you today. I'll be back as soon as I can." Man. I guess it wouldn't be a traveler. It's more likely to be the man, but... I noticed a white thing had been left on the counter. Oh no, the manager must have forgotten this. Yeah, it sounds reasonable that the manager would forget his raincoat. Customer arrived. The first customer of the day. The rain is terrible. I'll have a hot drink. A really hot one. So what, this is like... cocoa... That's probably tea, and then this one has to be coffee. So it could be any one of those. So let's just say traveler, and he wants a hot cocoa. Next customer came in. This rain is just me. I'll have a hot drink, please, but don't steep it for too long. Okay, so that means he gets the tea. Since the manager in charge was gone, I had to make a cocoa for the customer at the window. I also had to make the tea that the other customer had ordered. However, I ran into a snag when I realized the white thing was gone. It's probably gonna be, like, it's not gonna be a mushroom. Or coffee. It's probably, like, milk or something. Look at this white thing I found in the forest. That's a mushroom. No, wait. The mushroom leaned over, but I'll have a coffee. I don't like my cocoa black. Oh. So... the first guy does not want cocoa. He's gonna want coffee. I don't like my coffee black. Yeah, that makes sense. So relieved to see the manager's pointy hat. So the manager has to be someone like a sticker we don't have yet. Didn't you hear I was stepping out to get another white thing? Okay, so we need a couple more, like, customers, and the milk, and whoever the manager is. Oh, wait. Someone's glasses started fogging up, didn't they? I came all the way out here to enjoy a cocoa. The customer by the counter's glasses began to fog up with anger. I was getting very flustered. Oh. Customer service nightmare. Yeah, so he's got glasses so they can fog up with anger. Me when I go to the cock shop. Alright, now let's go back to the Gilded 7 Casino, which is this way, I believe? Oh no, the shortcut was another direction. Look, there's Bostro. Yes, I'd recognize that white pinstripe suit anywhere. Quick, everyone, hide! Eavesdrop on Bostro. You're supposed to be on guard duty, you clown! Stop goofing off! I wasn't goofing off, Bostro. I was just... You know, the only thing I hate more than a loafer is the loafer who makes excuses. But... there ain't no buts about it. That attitude is what keeps you a grunt in this here organization. You know what? You're finished here. The family don't need no clowns like you. Get lost, you clown. Come on, Bostro. Don't kick me out. Where will I go? There! Did you hear that? Yes, I heard "get lost" loud and clear. What about Marth? Did he manage to pick it up? Did you hear what that big man said, Marth? What? Get lost! Oh, it's uncanny how much he sounds like Bostro. I guess Bostro sounds like a parrot now. Oops. Performance like that is sure to fool those two guards at the gate. Let's head to Chinatown. Okay. You know this statue here, Luke? Oh, the one with the man that looks like the professor? Sure. Seeing it kind of got me thinking about, you know, the future. And one thing that occurred to me is that you know how everything is going to turn out, don't you? I mean, you're me, so you already went through this scenario 10 years ago, right? Well, in a way, yes. But I can't tell you what's going to happen from here on out. You see, if you had that knowledge, it could alter the course of history. Some of the things that are supposed to happen might not happen at all. Time travel has changed the way events unfold here, and look at the mess it's made. We wouldn't want to add to that. We wouldn't want to add to that chaos, would we? I guess I never thought about it that way. What's more, knowing about your future self could actually change who you become. And just to complicate things further, it's probably worth noting that technically you aren't me. I'm not? Then who am I? That's a tough question. Our meeting has changed much for both of us. Only the past is certain. Therefore, I was you in the past, but you may not be me in the future. You follow? No. I think I do. But time travel sure is complicated. Sorry, I'm just not interested in talking to any of you people today. Hits Bunny. Why are you hitting Bunny? Salutations, mein amigo. I'm afraid I'm a bit lost. Hello there, Pavel. Fancy meeting you here. Where are you trying to get to this time? I read a magnifique article about the great underground caverns of El Mundo and came to see them. Ah, yes. One school of thought posits that these caverns exist throughout the entire world. Hi! Exactamente! I was on my way to discover the subterranean ruins of Rome when I got lost. Wait, you were heading to Rome and ended up here? Yeah. The road of a traveler is long and winding, but this time I'm sure I'll reach my destination. But seeing as how we bumped into each other like this, how about a puzzle for El Camino? Number 62, Lunar Leapfrogs. Yes! Froggy puzzle again. 6 frogs are sitting atop logs in a bog. Leap them around so that each frog's color matches the ribbon tied to the post. 3 rules. You can hop to any adjacent log. If there's an empty log 1 frog over, you can leap over 1 frog to get there, but you cannot leap over 2 frogs at a time. Now tap those frogs and hop to it. Alright. So you can't make him go too. That's not quite it. But we'll get there. See, at least now I've got them all on the right side they need to be on. Did I miss anything crazy, like another Prime Minister exploding? No, all that I've done story-wise is get the parrot to pick up Buster's voice so we can imitate it, and get the guards out of the way of Chinatown so we can go explore there. Woo, frogs.
How about this? No puzzle can stop Layton's apprentice.
Hip hop, yippee! I wonder when the frog capella starts. Magnifique! With that solved, I'm ready to return to my travels. Good day, and happy travels wherever you go. I've never seen anyone as good as getting lost as you. How did you even make it here to begin with? Okay, a new course for the toy car. Black market. Oh, let's talk to the kitty again. Okay. Not my best purring, I'm afraid. Alright, Luke. This is our chance. Oh, I'm so nervous. Just relax. We'll stay back here out of sight and let Marth work his magic. But Marth's a sword user. He's not a mage. Ugh, these posts are such a drag. I can't wait to punch out and grab a hot meal. Sounds good. What I wouldn't give for a piping hot meat pie with some mushroom gravy right now. But we better not let Boss Joe hear us talking food on the job, or he'll tan our hides. Seems like all that brute does is watch us to see if we mess up. Talk about a terrible boss. Alright, do your thing, Marth. Doing my thing. Doing my thing. Psst, Marth, you're on. Get lost, you clown. Did you just hear Boss Joe? Yeah, he told me to get lost. Or was he talking to you? Maybe he meant both of us. I think you're right. Hey, Bostro, you don't gotta tell us twice. We'll get lost immediately. Way to go, Marth. Squawk, squawk. Excellent. I think we can finally get into Chinatown now. And it's all thanks to our pal Marth from Fire Emblem. Get lost! Get lost, you clown! You can stop saying that now, Marth. Nope, that's his new favorite phrase. That's all you're gonna hear for the rest of the game. Alright, now it's not simple enough to get the armed guards out of the way. We gotta do another fucking puzzle lock. What's this device that's stuck to the door? Oh no, it's another goddamn puzzle lock. That's a puzzle counter. Oh no? Why oh no? These things measure how many puzzles a person has solved, because that's the thing you can measure. The door won't open for anyone who solved fewer than the required number of puzzles. Here, take a look at the display on the front of the machine. It says 50. Hopefully you got 50 puzzles under your belt? I don't know, but I'm anxious to try the machine. The future's just full of so many neat gizmos. Bzz. Insufficient puzzles solved. Access denied. Oh no! I didn't anticipate this. I suppose we'll have to come back after we've solved more puzzles. Okay, I'm only 5 short, that's not bad. So, I know I've got 3 yes, I've got 3 right here with this guy. All the puzzles you left behind are packed in that bloom.
So, go on, get to it.
Why does he talk like half the time? Carrying glasses. Rubbing his back, the waiter sighed wearily and said, I always use the same box to carry as many glasses as I can at a time, but there's one type of glass that I hate carrying. Of the 4 glass types pictured here, which one is the waiter talking about? Keep in mind that they all weigh the same. The same box. Okay, well, they all weigh the same. These 2 can easily be, like, bunched together in a box like that. And then glass C, but it'll make me act up. Oh yeah, they added a sexy lady. She's saying like, I think it's gotta be C or D, because those ones don't look like they can be as easily stacked together. But with D, I think you can... Here, unfortunately I have to erase the sexy lady. With D, I think you can stack them like lay them all horizontally, and then just sort of lay them like facing like this, so they'll fit together more easily. Wouldn't B be the most frustrating because you can stack them high and therefore it would weigh more? You might have a point there. No, you definitely have a point there. Carry as many glasses as I can at a time, but there's one type of glass that I hate carrying. I don't know, I can't decide if it's gonna be like B because you can stack them up and carry a ton at once, or something like C or D where you can't fit as many in the box so you have to make more trips. Oh, he's rubbing his back. Hold on a moment. He's rubbing his back, so he's frustrated about the weight. So I think it's gotta be B.
That should do the trick.
Thank you, Sunny Stonestar.
Few things satisfy like a puzzle solved.
There you go. Alright, how many people? I was riding a double-decker bus, and the tour guide on the upper level told me that, including myself, there were 25 tourists on the lower level, and 40% as many tourists in the upper level. How many people total were in the bus? Okay. So the tour guide is, like, separate for... I need a better... Okay. T for tour guide. Or, that's the Mandalorian, I guess. So there's 25 up here. No, wait. 25 on the lower level. And then 40% of 25 on the upper level. Oh, and there's also the driver. That's a D, and then like his head in the driver's seat. That's not very clear, is it? She's specifying tourists, so like... Point is, like, the tour guide and the driver are not counted in this math here. 40%. Damn, I can't... That's not math I can do in my head. Let's see, 25 times 0.4 is 10. So... we have 10 plus 25 is 35, plus the tour guide and the driver is 37.
Here's my answer.
Woo.
No puzzle can stop Layton's apprentice.
Good job, 37 people were riding the bus. Yep. Cool. Now, let's see. The missing block. A hidden message is revealed when one of the blocks, A, B, C, or D, replaces the box marked with a question mark. Tap the letter that corresponds to the correct block. Okay. Okay, well... this is an L. It's just kind of like upside down. There's an A, a Y, T, question mark, and an N. So I think we need an O, which is going to be letter B.
Let's see if I've got this right. Few things satisfy like a puzzle solved.
They spell out Layton. Who's trying to message him with building blocks? Okay, so I still need 2 more. Let's go bother some people until they give us puzzles. Hey, you got a puzzle? No, you don't. Today's the big day! At last, I shall propose to the most enchanting woman in all of London. That is, I shall make a business proposition. Wow, that's exciting! Yes, at last, Belle, radiant goddess that she is, will know my heart's deepest secret, and that is to start a clothing line with her. You see, though I am a stylish gentleman, one might argue the most stylish gentleman in town, no one has their finger on the pulse of fashion like teenage girls. What's more, every genius needs a muse, and that's where Belle enters the picture. Good luck with that. That's the chick that was, like, trying to hit on Luke, wasn't it? You got something for me? Oh, so bored. So very, very bored. Same old story, huh? Can you blame me? Well, life's not exactly a rosy rosebud, I don't have anyone to talk to. But hey, being bored is better than being sad, right? I guess so. You know, if you want someone to talk to, I'd be happy to listen. I may only be 12 years old, but I'll be your therapist. That's nice of you. I bet you're gonna grow up to be a nice guy. Thanks for the offer, little man. I already feel better. As thanks, how about I share one of my awesome puzzles with you? Please do. I love a good puzzle. Okay, see, I'm a pretty good digger. It's what I do. I thought of this one while I was at work one day. He's, what is he in Gurren Lagann? Arrange all the tunnel segments to create a tunnel that leads from the entrance to the exit. Tap a segment to switch between a straight and a curved pipe. Grab the edge of a segment and slide it in a circle to rotate it. The green segments are already finished, so you can't change them. You need to use every segment to complete the tunnel. Good luck. Okay, sheesh, so we have to do, like... we gotta do all this. We gotta use every square on the board to get all the way over here. Luckily, I think it's going to be pretty simple. Or perhaps not. Actually, having the ones already set for you makes it a lot easier, I think. Yep, there we go.
How about this? No puzzle can stop Layton's apprentice.
You're a smart little man, aren't you? You come back and see me again sometime, okay? A boy sticker. Alright, layman, lay one on me. All men face trials in life, but it's the real men who persevere in spite of them. When tragedy rears its ugly head, a real man knows how to deal with it gracefully. Here's a puzzle to prepare you for the day when you must deal with your own hardships. Puzzle number 60, The Inheritance. 4 siblings inherited a large plot of land. They each built a house in their favorite spot without thinking about how best to divide up the rest. they've decided that the fairest solution is to split the land into 4 equally shaped 6 square portions that include each house. Also, each portion must touch, but not include, the well in the center. Based on their decision, which sibling's property will include the star? Circle house A, B, C, or D, and then tap submit. All men face trials in life versus Ace Attorney wants to know your location. All men face trials in life definitely sounds like something Godot would say. Okay, so basically, we're dividing up everything around this square in the middle. They've all got to be 4 equally shaped 6 square portions. So yet another, like, chocolate square dividing kind of puzzle where everyone needs the same shape and the same number of squares and has to have an almond, but in this case the almond is their house. Okay. Let's say... No. Oh, this is gonna be very touchy with all 3 of these next to each other. That's like even worse. It's gonna be very hard to like curve any of them. So let's say Hay's like... Well, actually first I'm gonna start off by dividing them all off from each other. So I know there's gonna have to be a lot lines like here and here. They have to touch, but can't include the well in the center. So C doesn't have to worry about that, because C is already touching the well. So I'm gonna worry about their plot shapement last. Shapement? Is that a word? I don't think it is. 6 squares. Let's see, what if you went like this? Sorry, I'm using my phone as a camera, so whenever I have like a little pop-up notification, the motion catches my eye. So I go look at it. It's only 5. I need a hint before I can start thinking about this. Use the memo function to try out different ways of dividing up the land. Yeah, okay, literally what I was already doing. First hint is never useful. Even though the 4 portions all need to be the same shape, the houses can be located anywhere within each sibling's property. Okay, that was obvious enough, I guess. Oh, that can't possibly work. Give me another hint, Doc. Each portion is kind of shaped like a T. That's very helpful, actually. Okay. So let's say... Oh, it's impossible for A to get something shaped like that. What does kind of shaped like a T mean? Because to me, that can only be like this. That's not kind of anything. So... nothing that forces both of those parcels to be too skinny. I tell you, having all three of these next to each other really makes this, like, more confusing. Is there any possible way that would work? Okay, super hint maybe? It's not B or C. Okay. So it's either A or D, and they have to be kind of shaped like a T. If you think B has 4 in the top row, let's see what that might look like. That is kind of like a T. So then A would look like this. And T would look like that. No. T would look like that. So it's gotta be A.
Let's see if I've got this right.
Nice.
Well, that's settled.
Okay, so I see what they mean by kind of like a T. It's crooked. Splendid work. It just goes to show you that analytical thinking is the key to impressing people. And that's because, like, Layton's thing is critical thinking is the key to success. Alright, now we can get into Chinatown. I need to have solved at least 50 puzzles to pass through. I'm better at giving hints, I'm giving hints that are better than the games really are. Maybe this time you'll have enough. I know how many 50 is, idiot. Puzzle count confirmed. Access granted. Whew, I was worried there for a second, but it looks like we can go through now.
Just down this road is your future self. Do you find it at all unnerving?
It's quite a peculiar sensation, I must admit. Yes, quite.
Yes, quite.
I still can't believe there's another Professor Layton running around.
I assure you, the man is real. You'll see soon enough.
Good day, whippersnappers. Tell me, have you ever stopped to admire this marvelous gate? This magnificent structure was constructed to welcome a lucky spirit into the vicinity. It is a breathtaking piece of art, isn't it? Tell me, sir, are you familiar with this part of town? You mean Chinatown? I suppose some might say that I'm familiar with the area. As you might expect from the name, this area has many restaurants and shops selling goods from Asia. One thing most folks don't know about it, that despite its appearance, the buildings here aren't that old. I've also heard that the family's headquarters are in this area. Whoa there, my friend, keep your voice down. Though that fact might be common knowledge, it's not the kind of thing one talks about in public. I think what the professor wants to know is if you can tell us how to get there. Ooh, you're a straight shooter, aren't you, boy? I admire that. Tell you what I'm going to do. If you solve my puzzle, I'll point out the family's headquarters to you. Always with the puzzles. Which finger? When counting on his fingers, this eccentric man counts in the order you see in the picture below. When he counts from 1 to 5, he returns to his thumb and continues counting in the same order, starting with 6. If he continues counting in this way, which finger would he land on when he gets to 763? Okay. So let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, okay, no, not fucking do that. So, the closest multiple of 5 would be 760. So, 760, 761, 762, and then 763 with giving us the bird.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
Literally, what?
I was sure my logic was sound.
It's because he counts that. Still, we're end up here in 760. 761. Okay, I'm back. I'm done screaming in the angry dome. I actually just got up to get food. And also to fill my water cup back up. Okay, so you guys are telling me it's his pinky finger because it's number 3? I can see why you're probably right.
Let's see if I've got this right.
I'm just kind of pissed off I couldn't see that.
Well, that's settled.
Mustache aficionado counts fingers in the most insane way possible. Sounds about fucking right. No matter how high you count, the finger that corresponds to the ones column never changes. All numbers ending in 3 or 8 end on the pinky. Woohoo! You made short work of that puzzle, so here's your prize. See that tall building? The one in the distance? That's the one. It's called the Towering Pagoda, and it's the family's base of operations. The person in charge of the place is said to be more monster than man, and he wears a hat like yours. But enough of that unpleasant topic. Have an enjoyable stay in Chinatown. Good day. Hello there. Is this Chinatown? Listen to yourself, young man. Like all sentient beings, I exist everywhere and nowhere. Well, that's very nice. Now, if what you really wanted to ask me is where our physical bodies are located, I'll tell you. This is indeed Chinatown. Here you can find exotic goods and rare wonders from all over the world. But these things don't interest me. Material objects are mere dust flecks on the universe's canvas. Something tells me I picked the wrong person to ask for directions. You've only just started to make your way in the world, young one. For you, many of life's greatest puzzles remain unsolved. For example, this one. Puzzle number 64. Who broke it? One of these people broke the window. When asked about it, they gave the following statements in order, starting with A. A says, I didn't do it. B said A is telling the truth. C says D is lying. And D says, I swear it wasn't me. The person whose story sounds fishy is the culprit. Who is it? It's gotta be... Okay, so they gave the statements in order. A says, I didn't do it. B, having heard what A says, A is telling the truth. And C, before D even has a chance to speak for herself, says, she's lying. And then D says, I swear it wasn't me. So, definitely this guy.
How about this? No puzzle can stop Layton's apprentice.
When the imposter is sus. Yes, that's it. Seek the answers to your own questions. That is the root of individuality. Individuality. Only by doing this, you will find the true value to be had in the infinite moment we call the present. Thanks for the compliment. I have to go now. Goodbye! Look at all these shops, and it smells like something amazing is cooking here. I see you've taken a liking to the neighborhood. Let's ask a few more locals about the area. Hello there, little girl. Oh, hi there, mister. Hiya. And hiya right back to you. Oh, that was nice. I do so love a good greeting, don't you? Well, you'll always get a proper greeting from us, because that's what gentlemen do. Yep, the world would be a much nicer place if more people said hello like you two. Perhaps in this town, perhaps, people in this town are so... what's the word? Uncouth? That's what my mom always calls people here. Oh? Do you live around here? Yep, Dad moved out here and brought me and Mom along. But I think our move was a terrible idea. Dad hasn't come home once since we started working here, and all Mom does is complain about it. What's he doing at work that keeps him there all the time? Beats me? All I know is that when I grow up, there's no way I'll become or marry a mechanical engineer. So your father's an engineer? Yep. Dad moved here after his old company got bought. Isn't that unbelievable? Can you imagine buying a whole company? You'd have to be super rich. You certainly would. You know, there's a great puzzle about a rich man my dad told me once. Puzzle number 66. Faces on vases. Or is it faces on vases? At an antique store, a wealthy gentleman is looking at 3 flower vases, each with a different portrait painted on it. Well, would you look at that? This one looks just like me. I'll take it. Which vase did the man choose? Okay, so it has nothing to do with the actual portraits themselves. It is the profile of the vase. Or of the man himself. And what does he look like? I think it's gotta be C.
This one's as good as solved.
Really?
Let me think this through again.
Okay, if it's not that, then it's A. Unless... it's B.
Here's my answer.
Okay, really? I got it the most wrong possible.
I don't know what to say.
Because I think they all, like... oh, talk about a penalty. I got 5 pick rats for this now.
Here's my answer.
I think they all kind of look like his profile,
Phew,
in a way.
that's a relief.
Oh, really? Are you fucking kidding me? That's not what I was looking at all. I'm stupid. Hey, you got the answer. Nice going. Thank you. As an aspiring gentleman, I do my best to solve any puzzle that comes my way, even when they suck. And I hate them. Guy who only buys furniture that looks like him. New type of guy just dropped, down here in future London. What's up? I was just wondering if you knew anything about the man who runs the towering pagoda. Of course I do. Everyone does. That fellow's bad news, mate. What do you mean by that? Well, you know, he's got a bunch of thugs working for him. And they're like, thugs, if you know what I mean. So I figure their boss is to be one nasty character. I see. He and his goons have this place so scared, most people don't bother going out much. Maybe that's why puzzles are so popular here. Oh, let me tell you one. Five shapes are drawn on the chalkboard below. One of them isn't quite right. Circle the shape that doesn't belong. Okay, so we've got 3 3s. Over here we've got the number 5. It is represented 5 times. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. 7 times. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. It's 5 times. And then 4 number 4s. So then the one that doesn't fit has to be the one that uses the number 6, but does not use it 6 times.
I've got a good feeling about this one. Well, that's settled.
Oh, it could also be 9, but it still doesn't work out that way either. Smooth. Real smooth. A word of advice? If you value your hide, stay away from the towering pagoda. Alright, so once again we have an ominous, huge towering building in the distance, and people are telling us that if we go there, we'll die. Just like Curious Village. And also just like, Pandora's Box. The railway is useful, but it's no momentary express, that's for sure. Well, look who we have here. We met on our way to the Gilded Seven Casino, did we not? Nice to see that I made an impression. Let me guess. You don't want to let us through. There's no need for that attitude. Keeping those out with no business here is my livelihood, you see. You can't fault a fellow for trying to make a living, can you? Perhaps not. But we do have business here. We've come to meet with Layton. That may very well be the case. Unfortunately, I simply can't let you pass. And why is that? We've stated our business. Because my employer, Mr. Layton, is out at the moment. Hence, you have no reason to enter the building. And you're quite sure he's out and about right now. Well, I didn't just lie to you, if that's what you're insinuating. The boss has stepped out. He's away. Gone. Not here. But where could he have gone? Well, wherever he is, doesn't sound like he's up in the towering pagoda right now. Professor, I propose we do some sleuthing. I'm sure we can track down Layton yet. I agree. Let's ask some of the people in the area if they've seen my elusive counterpart. Is he off getting drunk somewhere? Yeah. Oh, you look like fun. Some people have no respect for others. What seems to be the matter? Just look at this wall of mine. Someone has graffitied it. I'm sure the neighborhood misfit who did it is having a laugh, but I'm the one that has to clean it up. That paint stuck on pretty good. I don't think you'll be able to strip it off. I suppose I'll just have to paint over the whole thing. While we're on the subject of paints, I might as well ask. You ever heard of this puzzle? Number 71. Peculiar paint job. This old brick wall has been painted in a strange aesthetic. There are 5 unique shapes on a white background. Artsy. Which color paint was used the most? Touch the correct can and then tap submit. Okay, it's gotta be white. Yeah? Because that's the background. At least I think it is.
Here's my answer. I knew it!
Alright, pretty straightforward. Curious Village is the tower, Diabolical Box has Erickson Castle, Unwound Future has a towering pagoda, Last Spectre... Actually, I don't even remember what well, maybe I do. I think I remember what the building in Last Spectre is. And then... Miracle Mask and Azure and Legacy both have like too many did for any one of them to just count. No, wait. Azure and Legacy does have that one near the end. Never mind. Last Spectre? Okay. I actually don't think Last Spectre is that great a name. I really prefer like the EU name for it, which is the Spectre's Call. Because the last Spectre is really... It's not the last of its kind. Like, it's not the last anything. If anything, it's the first of its kind. But the Spectre's call is much more interesting, in my opinion. Smart thinking. And you know what? Your smart thinking has given me a brilliant idea of my own. Oh, let me hear it. If I just paint this wall white again, I'm practically begging someone to cover it in graffiti. So maybe I should get someone to come by and paint a fancy mural on there for me. I mean, a white wall is one thing, but you'd have to be a real worm to graffiti a nice mural. Say, that idea's not half bad. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it myself. Alright, thanks, Slate. You just know there's gotta be like a hidden puzzle around here or something. Or just a bunch of hidden coins, that's fine too. I've got big plans for this wall. I've got to get someone to paint something amazing here. Oh, by the way, I don't think I've introduced myself before. I'm Slate. Pleased as punch to meet you. Thanks. I guess I have to come back to him later? I don't know. Noodle shop. Yes. Welcome to Pepper's Noodle Palace. What will it be? Sorry, but we're not here to eat. We just want to know if you can tell us anything about the fellow who runs the towering pagoda. Come on, dude, you can't just wander in there and be like, no, I don't want any noodles. Aw, I really can't interest you in a bite to eat. Alright then. Now what were you saying? We would like to meet the man who runs the towering pagoda, but he seems to be out at the moment. Has he been by your restaurant? I don't think so. I mean, I don't even know what he looks like. But his lackeys come by here almost every day to slack off. They're horrible tippers, by the way. Now that I think about it, there's a good chance the man you're looking for never comes here. I mean, would you look on the job in a place where the boss could bust in on you at any moment? You make a good point. That's very astute of you. Flattery's nice, but if you really want to say thanks, order some food next time you come in, okay? Come on, dude. Like, I don't think you've I'm pretty sure he's just been dragging Luke through restaurant after restaurant and not actually letting him eat. I can excuse trying to murder people, but tipping badly? What's up, Goo? Eh? The boss? Look, I'm here because I don't want to think about the boss. You follow? Besides, you're never gonna find him in a hole in the wall like this. He likes more upscale joints. Upscale joints. Well, there's another place we can go in. Toy shop! Take a look at all the toys here. Big on toys, are you? I used to be, but now that I'm older, you know, 12 years old, I'm a man now. I don't have much time for toys and baby stuff anymore. But you can't forget that toy car of yours, my boy. I suppose you got me there, Professor. That car's too fun to put down. A toy car, you say? Let me see it. Yes, this is one of my creations. Really? Wow, that is so cool. Thank you kindly. Well, since you're a fan, I have a special offer for you. If you can best this puzzle of mine, I'll give you a special track for your car. A special track just for solving a puzzle? Gosh, this is my lucky day. Two squares of paper, A and B, are shown below. Following the arrows from left to right, each piece is folded in half, and then folded in half again. The red dotted lines on the far right show it. The red dotted lines on the far right image of paper A show where a cut will be made. Your job is to cut paper B so that when you unfold it, the cutout shape in the middle matches the shape in the middle of paper A when it's unfolded. I already fucking hate this. Draw the cut you need to make onto the rightmost image of paper B. I don't like spatial relations. I hate it. I despise it. Okay, yeah, I am looking this one up. I don't want to waste time on it. Unwound Future 68. Okay, so for this one, okay, you just gotta draw from like here to here. Is that right? Yeah. I'm doing this for Luke in his
This
race
one's
car.
as good as solved. Phew, that's a relief.
Now, that's using the old nugget. As promised, here's that track. Thank you so much. The name's Checker. Come by and browse anytime. Thanks, man. You're pretty cool. Forgot Flora was with us because she hasn't had a chance to speak at all. I'm too old for stuffed animals, Professor. Forgive my apathy, but unlike little Luke here, I am not a child. Oh, come on, you know you want a dollhouse or a big elephant or something. Why does bigger Luke have to be such a buzzkill? Azure Avenue. Hey, it's another banana peel. Look at that! There's another banana peel lying on the ground. Someone around here has a taste for bananas and an aversion to cleaning. Not to worry, Professor. I'll clean it up. Not so fast, Luke. What is it, Professor? You gotta do a puzzle about it first. I've just thought of another banana puzzle. Wait, I need Luke, or not Luke, I need Layton to be wearing that button from, like, the old, like, GameStop Donkey Kong 64 promotion that's like, ask me about banana bucks. Ask me about banana puzzles. Okay, woohoo. No, not just going up there, will send us back. So I just have to, like, kind of sneak my way through here.
Here's my answer. I knew it!
Sweet and delicious, most people are used to eating the common and most popular Cavendish bananas raw right after peeling them. However, in the tropics, where most of the world's bananas are produced, there are many less sweet varieties that are often used in cooking. Fun little factoid there. Whoever left this peel here could stand to learn a few manners. I'm glad we found it before someone took a spill on it. Yep, that's... well, trash can technology hasn't changed too much. Make way, make way! Coming through! I'm in a hurry here, I've got to get back! Goodness, that little man startled me! Who would have thought such short legs could move so quickly? Did you see how he raced out of the shop? Funny little manlet. He sure did. He was sprinting, and in wet pants and shoes, too. And he was carrying 2 armfuls of books to boot. He must be a big customer here. Maybe the woman behind the counter knows something about him. May I help you find something? Actually, I was hoping you could tell us about the man who dashed out of your store just now. Oh, that'd be Dr. Avogadro. He's always in a hurry. His pants and shoes were soaked. It was very strange. You scared another man into wetting himself, Luke. I guess I've gotten used to it. He always looks that way. He sneaks away from work to browse through our new books. You know how absent-minded geniuses can be. I bet he doesn't notice puddles in the road. Maybe he likes to go fishing on his breaks. Who knows? He always bursts in, buys a few books, and then dashes out without so much as a word. So how many like pants wetting incidents is that now? Like 3? I think I could handle the kind of books the professor reads now. What? What do you want? Can't you see I'm in a hurry here? Oh, I think you've upset him. You can't just go running up to people you don't know and expect them to chat with you. I can't help it, Flora. How else are we supposed to find leads in our investigation? Well, some people really don't like talking to strangers. Hey, if you two are just going to stand there squabbling, will you at least get out of the way? I've got places to be, and I don't appreciate your stopping me. Oh, but you don't really want to run around like that, do you? Hmm? Like what? With your pants and shoes all wet and squishy. It seems awfully uncomfortable. Jesus. There will be time for drying later. I have to go now. Enjoy your little row. Darn, there he goes. He might have stayed if you hadn't upset him from the get-go and then made him piss himself. Come on, Luke. You can hardly blame that on me. He just has poor bladder control. Oh wait, what does the parrot have to say? Yay, headcorn. Hello there. Good day, miss. My name's Hazel. It's lovely to meet you. Hiya, Hazel. Oh no, it's you. Good to see you again. You were using that cute girl as a decoy to lure me out of hiding. I knew it. I knew something was funny when she started chatting me up out of the blue. Oh, why did I stop to talk to her? Now you've got me wherever you want me. I gotta get out of here. Whatever did I do to get on that fellow's bad side? Will you make him piss himself every time you come near? Beats me, Professor. Is that fellow a friend of yours, Luke? That'd be nice, but I can't get him to stop cowering in fear for 5 seconds. Kitty cat? There's something very compelling about that sign. Indeed there is. Puzzlettes? Hey, what the fuck? Tell me, Luke, does anything about this room strike you as familiar? Actually, now that you mention it. Sigh. That's an awfully big sigh for such a small bee. What's got you down? Me? Well, you know, even a honeybee like myself gets a little down in the dumps now and then. Must be awfully hard to take care of all those puzzles, being, a bee and all. Oh, that? No, that's a piece of cake, kid. My problem is that I'm different from other bees. No kidding. What's your story anyhow, Beasley?
Oh, so you want to hear about me, do you then? Sure, alright. It's a gripping tale of a lonely drone's triumph over adversity. To become a puzzle bee. I'm talking...
Gotcha! No!
What the fuck?
That's better. Bugs are so very icky, don't you think? You really can't slap them enough. Ugh.
Stop doing that! I think he's had enough slapping for one day.
You're killing
How are we
him!
supposed to solve all those puzzles that we left behind?
Oh, no worries there, my fellow puzzle aficionado. Taking care of puzzles is my job now. Granny's put me in charge, so just leave it to me.
Granny who? Oh, right, of course. So then you're...
That's right. You can call me Puzzlette, because that's my name. Hope to see ya soon. Soon.
She just fucking committed murder in front of us! Hello? Bitch, what the fuck? See that tiny house over there? That's where all the darling little puzzles go that you leave behind.
You should definitely solve them when you get a chance, though. It hurts their feelings if you don't.
It hurts bees' feelings when you murder them in cold blood. But we don't really care about that now, do we? Hello? What is your major malfunction, lady? Wait, did you just see that? Hello there. My name's Paige. What's yours, miss? I'm Flora. How do you do, Paige? Not so well, I'm afraid. I've had this puzzle on my mind for days, and it has me positively stumped. I know we just met, and this is terribly forward of me, but would you mind taking a look at it? That's a method of flirting I can support. To complete the trick, fit the 5 blocks that form Professor Layton's top hat into the outline below without overlapping the pieces or leaving any spaces empty. You can rotate or flip the blocks. Cool. Are you guys simping for Puzzlet, or are you righteously enraged that she just murdered Beasley for no fucking reason? I mean, she murdered, like, a sentient, intelligent creature. I'm pretty sure that qualifies as murder. Oh, so you're simping now. So we're about, like, 50-50 divided on whether or not Beasley's murder was justified. Damn, I can't figure out where to fit this shit in. There we go, that's where that guy goes. I don't think it was justified, but it was funny. Okay, you're kinda right. It was kinda funny just for how shocking it was.
Cross your fingers.
Flora got to solve her first puzzle!
I don't want to brag, but that was pretty great.
Gosh, you must have some sort of super brain to solve a puzzle like that so easily. Well, I try. After all, smarts are something no true lady can be without. A master sticker. Great. It was pretty great. Okay, so I've been... Oh wait, I still gotta go into the cat shop. Pet shop. Squawk! Oh, what a splendid parrot you've got there. Nice to meet you. I'm Marth. Oh my, clever and polite. My name's Myrtle, Marth. Hello, Myrtle. Nice to meet you. Is this your pet shop? Pet shop? Oh, no, young fellow. This is no pet shop. It's a meeting place for animals to find true friends. Are you good friends with Marth? You bet. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. My name's Luke. Well, it's very nice to meet you, Luke. You and Marth play nice with each other now, you hear? Art? Get lost! Get lost, you clown! Now's not the right time to bust that out, Marth. I don't think Marth needs one of these. Never seen a tortoise that big. Who'd have thought there were so many products for pets? Who'd have thought there were so many products for teenage girls, too? Because I clearly don't take care of mine. So it's like, find out about future Layton, and yet there's like no one around here to tell me shit. Does anyone want to give me a crumb of information, perhaps? Don't run off, there's still more for us to learn here in Chinatown. But I've been everywhere and no one's talking. Nope. Nope. Oh, I guess we'd go check out the subway. Not so fast. I think there's more valuable information to be found here in Chinatown. Okay, cool, but now we know that we can leave here from the subway and fast travel if necessary. I thought I already talked to this dude, though. Oh well, let's see what's up anyway. You got something else for me, Gramps? If you're still looking for the Towering Pagoda, you should know you're a little off course. Oh, we know that. Actually, right now we're out gathering information. Is that so? Doing a research project for school, are you? Well, it would behoove you to talk to all the folks around here. It'll give you perspective on the place. Once you've chatted with them all, come and see me again. Maybe I'll have an interesting tidbit or two for you. But wouldn't it be easier if you just told us what you know now, sir? But I have talked to everyone! If you're still looking for the... Oh, okay, we're just gonna do this... Okay. I'll double check and talk to fucking everyone again and see what happens. What can I do for you? We went to go see the man who runs the Towering Pagoda, but he was out. Do you know where he is? I think so, but I'm not telling you. He's a dangerous man. You don't want to tangle with him. Come now. Surely there's no harm in letting us know where he might be. You're wrong there, but I guess I can tell you what I heard. It's just a rumor, though. You sure you want to know this? I'm telling you, this fellow's bad news. Real bad. We can handle it. What have you heard? People say he disguises himself and then walks around town. We could be only feet from him right now and not know it. Freaky, right? Look, I'm getting creeped out, so let's end this little chat, okay? Later. Interesting. Disguises himself, huh? Hello there. How are my favorite gentlemen doing? And you don't have anything to tell us. Okay, you gonna talk now, dude? Good day, whippersnappers. Did you manage to find that dreadful man who runs the Towering Pagoda? Unfortunately, no. He was out when we paid him a visit. We're actually trying to locate him now. Ah, well, you're wasting your time searching for him in this part of town. Does that mean you know where we can find our man? Oh, I've said too much. I can be so careless at times. So you do know. Please tell us where we can find him. It's very important. I'll say it again, lad. I like how forthright you are. Given that, I suppose I can drop a hint your way that may help you. That is, on one condition. Yeah? If you run over and tell my darling wife that I'll be eating lunch out today. But we don't know who or where she is. Oh, she's easy to find, my Myrtle. She runs a pet shop on the edge of Chinatown. It shouldn't take you long to find it. Very well then, we'll deliver the message to your wife and return later. Okay. Don't you want to bet, like, once we come back here, he's gonna be gone? This must be where we'll find Myrtle. Okay, yeah, we just have been back here, but I did it out of order on accident. We have a message for you, Myrtle. Let me guess. It's from that no-good husband of mine. That sluggard just strolls about to town all day while I work my fingers to the bone here. Professor, what's a sluggard? I'll explain later when we don't have an angry lady in front of us. Now, where were we? Right. Your husband Rudolph wanted to let you know he's eating lunch out today. No doubt he's at Pepper's. It's infuriating. I'm the one who works, yet I still manage to prepare lunch for us every day. And he has the nerve to let it go to waste. Now, madam. Please settle down. Furthermore, we don't have enough disposable income to be eating out all the time. I don't care how much he likes those soups. His behavior is simply shameful. Well, since we've delivered the message, we'd best be off now. I spend valuable time picking out and preparing nutritious, delicious recipes, and this is my thanks. I'm a working woman, you know. Oh, where did everyone go? Whew, that was intense. It just goes to show you that when someone prepares you food, you can't just run off on them! Say, where's the professor? Here I am. You three surprised me. I had no idea you could run that fast. My apologies, Professor. It was getting a bit uncomfortable in there. Professor, don't you agree that it's very rude to stand up someone when they've made food for you? Oh, yes, absolutely. A gentleman should always express gratitude for the hospitality of others. Now that that's over with, Rudolph needs to hold up his end of the bargain. Let's pay him another visit. Professor Layton and everyone's pissed at him. He's still here. Did you deliver the message to my honey? We did, but I have to tell you that she was absolutely seething by the time we left. Why ever for? She seemed rather upset at the thought you might be visiting Pepper's restaurant. Oh, dear me, I fear there may be a misunderstanding brewing here. Do go on. My wife is a gem. I treat her like a queen. And what queen do you know prepares lunch? She works so hard that I don't want to add to her burden. Plus, who doesn't love noodle soup? Anyhow, excuse me, I'm boring you now. Let me give you that bit of information I promised you. This is just a rumor, but I've heard that the fellow you're after is quite fond of old Father Thames. Some say he likes going for long walks to admire the river whenever he has a spare moment. Interesting. So there's a chance we might find our man down by the River Thames. Like I said, it's a rumor and nothing more. But go and see. Maybe it'll pan out. When you respect women so much, you circle back around to disrespecting them. We'll do just that. Thank you for the advice. Just a moment now. You younger folks are always in a hurry, aren't you? Here, take this. It's a clue. A flyer? It's a small restaurant on the edge of the Thames. It's called the Thames Arms. A lovely little place. If you're in the area and have the time, you really should stop in. It sounds like a perfect place to take a break. We'll be sure to check it out if time allows. Good day, sir. Oh, wait just a moment, boy. Yes? My wife, Myrtle. Exactly how angry was she? Furious. Oh ho, I see. Thank you. That'll be all. Oh dear, I'm a dead man, aren't I? Where does one go to admire the Thames around here? There was a hill we walked over on the way to Chinatown. The view of the river there was nice. The place Luke's talking about has a path that runs down the riverside. It might be worth checking out. Oh, goody! A walk by the river sounds so nice. Flora, focus! This is serious business! We're hot on the trail of a criminal! Aw, Luke, loosen up a little. We're making progress on the case, and Flora's just finding her own way to enjoy it. I suppose that's true. And what are we waiting for? Yes, let's head to the hill. Back the way we came, baby. Chapter 8, A Meeting by the River. Hey, what's up? Hello again, sir. Ah! Why do you keep sneaking up on me? Sorry, it's just that I noticed your pants and shoes were soaked, and... So what? I've got wet pants. That's the least of my problems right now. Well, what seems to be the problem? I'm here waiting for a friend, and I think there's been some confusion about our meeting time. More clock puzzles. I think my watch is 5 minutes slow, but it's actually 5 minutes fast. My friend thinks his watch is 5 minutes fast, but it's actually 5 minutes slow. If we try to show up at our meeting point, the same time, following only the time on our watches, how many minutes earlier than my friend will I arrive? Also, if I happen to arrive later than my friend, put a minus sign in front of your answer. Alright, give me a minute. Let's think about this. So this man, he thinks his watch is 5 minutes slow. It's actually 5 minutes fast. This man thinks his watch is 5 minutes fast, but it's actually 5 minutes slow. So let's say they're trying to show up somewhere at 2 o'clock. This guy's at 2 o'clock. This guy's watch will say the watch will say 2:05. He will think that it's actually 1:55. And at 2 o'clock, this guy's watch will say 1:55, but he will think that it's 2 o'clock. Oh, he's gonna think that it's only 1:50. God, this is already giving me a headache. Okay. How many minutes earlier than my friend will I arrive? Okay, let's try approaching this from a different angle. I should just erase it all. Okay. So, let's see. When his watch says 2 o'clock, the real time when his watch says 2 o'clock, the real time is going to be 1:55. He's going to think that he's going to think that the actual time is 2:05. Now when his watch says 2 o'clock, the real time is going to be 2:05, and he's going to think that it's only 1:55. I think it's 10?
That should do the trick.
No!
I must have overlooked something.
If you're confused, try looking at an analog clock while thinking about the condition of this puzzle. Literally, who in this day and age has an analog clock just lying around for free access?
That should do the trick. I was sure my logic was sound.
Well, not that sound, apparently. What's the difference between the actual time of our meeting and the time when I will arrive? Yeah, time to cheat. This one is giving me too much of a headache. Let's see, number 77. Oh, it's actually 20 minutes. Damn. Puzzles made to enrage millennials.
That should do the trick. Just as I suspected.
Ah, now it all makes sense. I'm glad I was able to be of some use to you. Ah, yeah. As a scientist, it's real clear to me that you've got a real knack for critical thinking. I'll say, he's the most acclaimed professor of archaeology in the country. Ah, that'd explain it. Anyhow, my thanks, Mr. Professor. I'm glad I could be of assistance. Bye. Salutations and whatnot. What brings you upstanding citizens back through here? We're tracking down the boss of the family. We got a hot tip that he's down by the Thames. Whoa now, pipe down. Keep sniffing around for trouble like that and something's bound to start stinking. Take it from me. You certainly appear to be an authority on the subject. Don't you know it? I know enough to tell you guys aren't gonna heed my warning. If you're dead set on going to the riverside, at least check out the restaurant there. The grub there is phenomenal, and you might as well look for trouble on a full stomach. Ah, he's got a point there. Oh, another scientist. Hello there. Why, hello there. Oh no, not you again. He's not who you think he is. This is all a big misunderstanding. Please don't wet yourself. Oh, and just who is he? If you're thinking he's the head of the family, he's not. Honest, he's not. I mean, just look at those eyes. You can see for yourself that they aren't the eyes of a criminal. Those little evil, beady eyes. To be frank, they're so small and beady that it's hard to tell. But I suppose they do seem rather trustworthy now that I've stared at them for a bit. You know, now that I'm looking a bit more closely, your eyes are pretty beady too, mister. Yes, well, that's enough on that subject. Tell me, sir, what are you doing out here? I was supposed to meet a friend here, but he's really late. Almost there. Oh, the view of the Thames is nice here. Where do you suppose the future professor is? I'm so excited to meet him. Flora, you're awful cheery about all this. Well, aren't you excited to meet him too? I want to find him, but I can't say I'm looking forward to meeting a criminal. Those stairs over there should take us down to the riverside area. Let's not waste any time then. Down we go. Wow, this river looks like it goes on forever. It's so pretty. funny?
Careful now. That rabbit looks awfully, agitated. I don't like that glint in his eye. He looks like he could attack us at any moment.
Well, you've always had a way with animals, even those of the more cantankerous variety. Why don't you see if you can't befriend the little fellow?
Befriend him, right. He doesn't look too, friendly, but I guess I can give it a shot.
What do you want?
Hello. I hope you're enjoying this lovely day. Would you mind if we pass through here?
Yeah, you humans are so full of yourself. Always acting like you own a place. But this here's my turf. Take one more step and I'll rearrange your kneecaps.
Sorry, Mr. Rabbit. I didn't mean to...
Mr. Rabbit? Ah, please. What storybook you get that from? The name's Subject 3, okay? And don't get any stupid ideas about us being friends just because you know my name now.
Of course not, Mr. Subject 3. I didn't mean to impose, but we really do need to pass through here.
Those puny ears of yours don't hear too well, do they, boy? I thought I made it clear that this is my turf.
But we just...
Ah, shut your trap. Look, I'm not an unreasonable rabbit, but nothing's free, you know. If you want through that much, you're gonna have to solve this puzzle.
This peculiar rabbit has a unique method of getting around. He travels 70 centimeters with each hop, but when he lands, he immediately hops 30 centimeters towards the direction his tail is pointing, so backwards. On a straight line, what is the minimum number of hops it will take this rabbit to reach a spot 10 meters away? I don't want to fucking do this. Look at this one up. I don't want to do math. Minimum number of 20 hops.
Here's my answer. I knew it!
You're one of the smarter humans I've met, I'll give you that. So what exactly is your story, Mr. Subject 3? Want to know more about this old hair, do you? Well, get your hanky ready, because my tale's a real tearjerker. Okay?
I was born in the mean streets of London and separated from my parents at an early age. I would never see them again. It wasn't long before I was kidnapped and sold as a lab animal. I thought it couldn't get any worse. I was wrong. The research facility I was taken to was the most miserable place on Earth. It was there that the whitecoats started calling me Subject 3.
That's a peculiar name.
Yeah, that's because it wasn't so much a name as an ID. I was a test subject, not a cuddly pet. There was a Subject 1 and a Subject 2 there, but who knows what happened to them.
I don't know, man. Was one of them like a bee, maybe?
I don't mean to stir up painful memories, but you said you were a test subject, so...
You want to know about the test they did on me? Just thinking about it makes my fur stand on end. Well, this was one of their favourite routines. They'd throw me in a room and cut the lights. There'd be a loud noise like nails on a blackboard. Next thing I know, I'm in a totally different room. Even now, I've no idea what they were doing.
That sounds awful.
Have you two worked everything out?
Did you hear Subject 3's terrible story? Apparently, he was forced to be a test subject in a whole bunch of weird science experiments.
Our friend here carries a heavy burden on his shoulders.
Poor little fellow.
Poor little fellow? Spare me your pity. Life is hard, kid, and I've had it harder than most. None of it really matters. The sooner you stop expecting good things to happen, the better off you'll be.
What kind of attitude is that? You're free now, and you've got your whole life ahead of you.
Ah, so now you're gonna tell me how to live my life, huh? Go on then, get out of my face before I bite the lot of you!
So there's, that little aside there. Now let's actually go to the restaurant. What a quaint little restaurant. It's called the Thames Arms. Well, the Thames Arms appears to be open. Let's say we step inside and have a look around. You look cool. Gentlemen, lady, welcome to the Thames Arms. Good afternoon, sir. We're here in search of an acquaintance who may have come by today. As you can see, business is quite slow. One regular came in earlier, but he left a few minutes ago. I see. This regular didn't happen to come from Chinatown, did he? Forgive me, but it doesn't seem quite right to give out that kind of information without his consent. Of course, I understand your concern. However, this information could be vital in assuring the safety of London. That's quite a claim to make. What about this? If you can help me with a problem I'm having, perhaps I can help you with yours. Buddy, you're not a doctor. You are violating. Yeah, there's no customer bartender privilege. Okay, I'm gonna hop up a minute and go use the bathroom, but I'll be right back. Sorry, it was on, I just had it muted in Twitch. Y'all can hear me though, right? There we go. Okay, so from the top. You've decided to make a special pair of dice that can display each day of the month numerically on your desk, as shown below, by the 12 at the top of the as shown by the 12 at the top of the screen below. Each day must use both dice, however, which means single-digit days, like the 1st and 2nd of the month, will display as 01 and 02 respectively. You thought you had the design figured out, but the layouts below won't display all of the dates. Draw a circle around the one number that needs to be changed. Okay. Okay, so we can go 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06. We can't have a 07. So right now we're missing a way to show the 7th, 8th, and 9th of the month. But I don't know which one needs changed. Oh! I know which one needs changed. This guy. Because you can just flip the 9 upside down to look like a 6.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
There we go.
Few things satisfy like a puzzle solved.
They're crosses, 'cause that's what a cube will look like when you, like, uncube it and lay all the faces flat. Excellent. Your help is much appreciated. Okay, you know what I mean by uncube, right? Now that we've solved your problem, can you tell us about the man who was in here earlier? A deal's a deal. That customer who came by earlier is what some might call a bit of an odd duck. Every time he comes in, he's wearing something different. Maybe he thinks I won't recognize him. Naughty Messiahs go to the uncube. So, he disguises himself. He tries to, at any rate. He told me he can't afford to be spotted in public, so he always wears different clothes. And this man hails from Chinatown. That's right. He says he comes here to unwind. His routine's pretty much the same every time. Usually he walks in wearing that top hat of his, orders a beverage, and finds a seat by the window. Did you just say that he wears a top hat? I did. It's a tall number like the one your friend is wearing. But as you said before, this man has already left today. That's right. If you were here just a few minutes ago, you would have bumped into him leaving. Do you suppose this means he's going back to the Towering Pagoda, Professor? I think there's a good possibility. Why don't we go confirm our suspicions? That's a good idea. Let's go. Have a nice day. All this wandering around just to be like, oh yeah, you can go back to the... Hey, what the fuck? Hi there, Barton! Fancy seeing you here! Oh, hello, Luke. I've been traveling around on foot and gathering information, but all that walking has me in the mood for a snack. So that's why you're peeking through the restaurant window. Yes, I confess that a lovely wobbly jelly caught my eye. Do a hungry man a favor and keep my little break a secret from the inspector, please. Ha! I wouldn't dream of reporting you, my good man. But now that you mention it, where is the inspector? He's been conducting a series of exhaustive interviews with everyone he meets in town. Once he finds a useful source, he really knows how to wring out every last detail. I'll bet. You might, like, future Layton is just coming in here to get plastered every weekend. Oh, my dear sweet Fluke. I've been looking everywhere for you. What are you doing here? Please excuse Luke here. He's just a bit surprised is all. What a pleasant coincidence it is that we all happen to walk through here. Coincidence? Oh, no. This is nothing short of fate. Because you see, Fluke and I are destined for one another. Well, I suppose that's one way of thinking about things. Fate? Destiny? Luke, just what have you been telling this sweet girl? Me? Nothing. It's all one big misunderstanding. But Belle and I, we aren't, involved like that. Oh, Fluke. When you get all flustered like that, you're just so cute, I would just eat you up. I'm not flustered or cute. I'm manly as hell. Hush now, my strong, gorgeous man. There will be time for more flirting later. I came to let you know that I've been seeing strange men running all over town looking for you. They keep going on about the boss, blue hats, and other gibberish. That sounds bad. Professor, do you think the family has finally caught on to us? I fear that might be the case. If so, we have limited time. We must gain access to the towering pagoda before the family reinforces their guard in the area. Don't be scared, my sweetling. I won't let anyone harm my dreamy hunk of man. Look, Belle, thanks for the warning, but you can stop worrying about me now. And you can stop calling me weird names. Alright, let's go now. Oh, Fluke, I love when you play hard to get. It just makes me swoon. Another, that was like 2 chapters in a row of just, like, fucking walking around places. Just a bunch of people going to each other's houses, like Pride and Prejudice. The Master of the Towering Pagoda. This is gonna be the last chapter for the night, I think. I'm not talking to any of you bitches, I just want to go straight to the Towering Pagoda. Back again, I see. We heard that Mr. Layton had returned. That's true. That being the case, I assume you'll let us through the gate? Fine, I have no objections. Well, that's not entirely true. There is one minor issue left. When the boss got back, he told me not to let anyone through the gate without solving this puzzle first. Puzzle number 86, the Impassable Gate. Woo, blocks! Yeah, bitch. No one has ever solved the Impassable Gate. Give it a try if you dare. If you make it to the top, I'll let you pass. Slide Professor Layton and Luke into the top square to solve this puzzle. Yes, bitch, we love your puzzy. Move Professor Luke and Layton over to the left. Move the red piece down to the bottom right corner. Move the blue piece over into the space opened up against the right wall. We should put Don Paolo disguised as Layton in Smash. That'd be cool. Sorry, what was that again? Left, red, down. There we go. Now we're cooking with Crisco. Nice.
Let's see if I've got this right. Few things satisfy like a puzzle solved.
Passing through the gate. It seems the boss was right on the money. He must be the guest he's been waiting on. Wonderful. Where can we find him? Head down the street to the pagoda. I wouldn't keep him waiting if I were you. The towering pagoda's not far now. Finally. The Layton from your time and the one from mine will meet each other face to face. That might be tough, seeing as how our professor's not here. Huh? Huh? Where's the professor? He seems to have disappeared. But he just solved that puzzle that got us past the gate. Yes, and then we walked through the gate together. He was a bit ahead of us by that point. I think he might have waved at me before he vanished. But where did he go? I'm not sure, though he was smiling as he dashed off. But why? My question exactly. His actions always have a purpose, but I can't see why he'd run away. Hey Flora, there's a slip of paper stuck to your back. It says kick me. How embarrassing. Someone must be playing a prank on me. There's something written on it in the professor's handwriting. Yes, it says, kick me. Let me see. It says, go on without me. I'll catch up with you soon. And also kick Flora. Because I hate her and I'm a horrible parent. He's never led us astray before, so I think we should do as he says. I agree. This is probably all part of some brilliant plan that the professor's been readying. That sounds fine, but in the meantime, will one of you please take this paper off my back? Hey, what are you lot doing back here? We're just on our way to the towering pagoda. Not that our business concerns you. Not so fast. You're one of the fellows behind that incident at the casino, aren't you? Let's say I am. What would you do about it? Pussy. I'd get my boss Schmelmy to give you a knuckle sandwich, if only he hadn't gone off to the bathroom. Well, lucky for us, he's not here. We'll just be going now. If you run off, I'll make sure my boss squishes you like a bug when he finds you. Duly noted. Wait, one more thing. Solve this puzzle. Bigger Luke is absolutely unbothered. This finish line photo of a race has been cut into strips, which were then mixed up. The runners finished the race in the order in the photo. Who came in third? Circle the answer. The constant threat of Don Paolo adds a special layer of paranoia to the game, which is fun. Okay, it's gotta be F.
This puzzle has met its match.
The way he frowns right before, like, his
I think
correct
not.
screen always scares me. Darn, you solved my puzzle. We really don't have any more time for this silliness. We'll just be heading to the pagoda now. Fine, but just remember, you got lucky. If my buddy were here, you'd be the one getting bossed around right now. Are you finished? This isn't over. Mark my words, you'll get yours.
I hope we find the professor soon.
Poor thing. You're just lost without him, aren't you, Luke?
You're a fine one to talk.
Sorry to keep everyone waiting. Let's be off.
Where did you go? 1 minute you were there, and the next you'd vanished.
My apologies, Luke. I just needed to check something. But enough about that. Come along, everyone. The towering pagoda is just steps away.
At last, we're here. And somewhere up there is the future Professor Layton.
Perhaps, and perhaps not. I suspect this whole affair may be more complex than we originally thought. Yes.
Oh?
Alright, let us in, baby. I suppose it would be too much to expect the door to be open. Let's see. The eyes of this dragon seem to be the key to unlocking this door. Sounds like a puzzle. Let me handle it, Professor. I'll have the door open before you know it. Holy shit. This dragon's eyes aren't spheres, but dodecahedrons. That's a D12 for those of you in the know. This means that each eye is a 3D object constructed from 12 pentagons. Though each of the eyes, though one of the eyes is already made, the other one still needs to be assembled. Which option, A, B, or C, will create the exact same eye when folded together? Big Luke should start throwing hands with this Layton. Yeah, C is not gonna form like that kind of shape. gonna say A.
Here's my answer.
Nice.
No puzzle can stop Layton's apprentice.
The dragon's eyes flash and the door opens. I trust no one other than little Luke at this point, and also Flora because she already got twinned. Very genre savvy of you. All set! Smashing work, Luke. There's no time to celebrate, you two. Let's head in. Nothing livens up a den of iniquity like a potted plant. Let's hurry, Professor. We must stop your future self. Getting to the top floor, just like in Curious Village. Yes, music! Now, what's this contraption here? It appears to be a peculiar set of goggles. I think they're too big for my head. Let me see them. Ah, this is some sort of personal projection device. Oh sweet, they've got an Oculus Rift headset down here. Think of it as a television for one, Luke. Only the wearer can see the image inside. Come on, haven't you ever played VR before? Oh wait, this game is from like 2009. I'd wager there's a puzzle in these goggles that only the wearer can see. I'm sure solving it is the only way to get through this door. Now that's high tech! They should fit me comfortably. Let's have a look. What do your elf eyes see, Professor? Those glasses make you look like a bug. A robot bug. I think something's coming into focus here. Oh my god, it's scrambling my brain! These two circular images show what you're seeing through your right and left eye. The images were originally the same, but one of them has now been flipped right-left and spun around an unknown amount. The shapes are the same as in the original image, with the exception of one, which has been changed slightly. Circle the shape that's different. Oh hell. It's been flipped right to left and spun around an unknown amount. Oh damn, I was hoping it was gonna be like a trick question where it's like, no, it's actually this weird thing in the middle. If you say Sword Art Online one more time, I'm banning you from chat. I thought the moon was kind of suspicious too. Let's look at that.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
Not suspicious
I
enough,
was
apparently.
sure my logic was sound.
Okay, so it's not the moon. It can't possibly be the circle because there's no way that one ends up looking weird no matter how you mess with it. It's not this one. Yeah, the H and the star are gonna be fine. Let's try G then.
That should do the trick.
Nice, okay. Second try. Thank you all
Few
for your
things
help.
satisfy like a puzzle solved.
Whew. It's a relief to take those off. I was feeling a bit lightheaded and had some trouble focusing. But it was totally worth it. Thanks to you, the door's unlocked and we're clear to press on. The fact that you got a migraine, totally worth it. What a gloomy place. Kinda reminds me of your house, Flora. You think so? I actually like how there are dragons everywhere. These bitches— how do they beat us up here? So you're the scoundrel who bullied my poor underling. That's gonna cost you, lad. Look who went crying to his boss. I've never seen such bravery. Quiet, you! What was I supposed to do back there? I was outnumbered. There, I understand. You're a small fellow, and you knew you had no chance of stopping us. So you got your big leg of a boss to do the dirty work for you. Sling all the insults you like, boy. Believe you me, if the boss allowed violence in the pagoda, I'd have pounded you one already. Since I can't do that, I'll suck it to you with a vicious puzzle. Would you like me to take care of this one, Luke? Don't trouble yourself with this riffraff, Professor. I can handle whatever he's dishing out. A couple of rapscallions have hidden some stolen goods in a cave. To protect their stash, they're planning to seal off the entrance with some wood. To do so, they need to cut the board shown below into 2 equal pieces. Where should the thieves make their cut? Draw the answer with your stylus. Motherfucker, I'm so tired of these puzzles. Of, like, the cutting type puzzles. Not a fan. I think it's this.
This puzzle has met its match. It seems I was right on the money.
So much for that puzzle. Now what will you do? We're lucky the boss doesn't let me rough up people in here. But you can't stay here forever. And when I see you on the outside, you'd best watch your back. Yeah, what he said. They're all bark and no bite. Come on, everyone, we've got places to be. Give me some hit points first, though. Please. Bigger Luke does keep me guessing till that last animation. You didn't tell me my tie wasn't straight! Come on, Professor, we're going to beat your evil counterpart. I gotta look good. This little room is covered in mirrors. Strange, isn't it? It's very disorienting. It's hard to know which way we should head. It seems as if we've hit a dead end. How do you think we should proceed, Bigger Luke? Maybe there's a hidden panel on one of these walls that we have to press to open a door in here. Close, but not quite. If my guess is correct, the door out of here is hidden in the dark over there. But we can't just rush headlong into the dark. There's no telling what traps could be set there. Ah, now I see what you're getting at. Are you saying that this room is a puzzle, Professor? That's right, Luke. And I'm about to solve our way out of here. "16 circular rooms are arranged in a square below. A beam of light shines in a straight line from each of the 4 letters A, B, C, and D, and exits through each of the 4 yellow arrows. 2-sided mirrors in 4 of the rooms reflect the beams. Each beam passes through the number of rooms listed below its letter. Identify which 4 rooms contain mirrors and the direction of each mirror faces by tapping the rooms. Okay. An objection.lol type site, like you could make like Professor Layton, like sort of cutscenes, that would be fun. Or like dialogue trees or whatever. Okay, so A goes up through here and over. That's 5. It's 4. C just goes straight through. How do I get D to go through 8 of these? What if B goes this way? Oh, do you think the first 2 are fine? Okay. Let's try working it out again that way. So that means A is going this way, and B is going like that. C really could... Maybe C does just go straight through. In which case, how do I use my remaining 2 mirrors to get D to go around like this? So somehow I've got to get it over here. Only 4 mirrors. Light beam C exits that reflecting off a single mirror. Okay, so we know that's good. Light beam A reflects only once. Yep, I've got that too. Give me the super hint, honestly. Light beam B reflects only once. D reflects 3 times and exits at the top right arrow. Okay, so that's... I spent all those hit coins for shit that I was already thinking about. So if A and B each only go once, and D goes 3 times, that means it's gonna have to double up on one of these mirrors. somehow. What if... I'm gonna stop worrying about these for a minute. I'm just gonna see... Goes here, here... It's already 6 rooms, though. That should work.
Let's see if I've got this right.
There we go.
Just as I suspected.
Seems my theory was right on the money. This way, everyone. Professor, I think this may be the top floor. We must be close now. The future professor's headquarters are most likely on the other side of that door. But how are we supposed to make it over that huge gap? Does anyone else think this floor looks like a giant slide puzzle? An astute observation. It seems the foundation under our feet is yet another puzzle for us to solve. The future Layton sure has a flair for the dramatic. That does seem to be the case. Now to get started on this puzzle. 94, the Dragon Bridge. The bridge is out. If you don't find a way across the room, you'll be unable to continue on. Can you figure out how to put the 4 pieces of the dragon bridge back together? You can't walk through the spiked ball, so you'll need to deal with that too. Okay. Give me a hint, man. The upside down L was at the top and the L-shaped piece at the bottom. Okay. Yeah, I kinda had guessed that from their shapes. Need to deal with the spiked ball by moving it off to the left and then sliding it over against the right wall. To clear the way, move the sideways T piece down to the right and then slide the S-shaped piece down to the left of it. That's a lot of words at once. Jesus. Moving it off to the left and sliding it over against the right wall. Now we're getting somewhere, just barely. There we go. Oh, this is so close. There we go.
Let's see if I've got this right. Well, that's settled.
You did it. The future Layton is just on the other side of the Dragon Bridge. There. It's safe to cross now, everyone. Alright, stand back. I'm going to open the door. Be careful. Who knows what the future Professor Layton has planned for us?
Excuse me, you there!
Welcome, Herschel Layton.
Did he just growl?
I demand an explanation.
Are you really Professor Layton?
Obviously, by my hat.
Yes, of course. Don't you recognize your old friend?
I don't know. Something about you seems off.
Surely you recognize yourself, Herschel? Misfortune, our fortune, is a result of your ambition and genius.
What is it, Professor?
You've put on quite a show, but it's clear to me that you're nothing but a charlatan.
Oh, is that so?
Professor, what tipped you off?
Yes, what indeed? I'm all ears.
You, sir, are a fraud, and I intend to expose you for the imposter you are. Fascinating. Do continue. Luke, would you be so kind as to solve a quick puzzle for me? Right now, Professor? But aren't we kind of in the middle of something? Nope, still doing puzzles. A pile of blocks has been carefully stacked. The image below is a view from the side. The perspective is also rotated in an unknown direction. Gravity is acting on the block, so any block not touching the ground or the block below it will fall. When you're looking at the blocks from the correct angle, which direction, A, B, C, or D, is up? It's gotta be A. That's the only way nothing's gonna no. Because if A is up, that means this is gonna fall. Let's see if B is up. If B is up, that means this is means this guy's gonna fall. And if C is up, that means this is gonna fall. So it's gotta be D.
This one's as good as solved. I knew it!
Yes, yes. The boy is quite bright. We all know that. But what does that have to do with anything? I'm getting there. But first, a question. I have a pen in my pocket that's either red or blue. Which is it? What a terribly uncharacteristic query for you to make. There's no logic for me to work through. I'm not a mind reader, and I refuse to guess blindly. How can I solve your puzzle without a single hint? So, in other words, you have no idea what color the pen in my pocket is. Of course not. That's funny. Oh? Luke, what would happen if you removed the bottom row of blocks from that structure I showed you? The rest of the blocks would fall down, I suppose. That's right. Those blocks in the middle of the structure don't float in midair. Only by resting on the blocks beneath can those blocks stay elevated. If you were really me, you would have lived through this very moment before. Therefore, you should know exactly what color the pen in my pocket is. But didn't Luke and Bigger Luke already had this conversation earlier? Given your answer, I can only assume your memory of that crucial event has vanished. But remember those blocks. Each sits on top of the next. When you remove one, everything on top of it comes tumbling down. I wanted to say crumbling. It all makes sense now! So, out with it already. What color is the pen in your pocket? There was never any pen to begin with. Gotcha, bitch!
I had a feeling you were behind this, Dr. Stun Gun. Or should I say, Dimitri Allen?
An impressive deduction. Does anything ever get past you, Herschel?
The future Layton turns out to be Dimitri Allen, the famous scientist renowned for his research into time travel technology. Dr. Stungun is really Dimitri Allen, one of the scientists involved in the time machine explosion 10 years ago.
Hats off to you, Herschel.
So you're the one who's been kidnapping scientists under my name. But why?
Have you ever tried to build a time machine by yourself? It's a Herculean task. And by pinning the blame on you, I could disguise myself as one of the poor scientists who vanished. Conveniently, that also provided an excellent way to lure you here. After all, the virtuous Herschel Layton would never stand by as someone sullied his good name. Sure enough, you came running. And faster than expected at that.
You're a real lowlife, you know that?
Just for you, I'm gonna use one of the only swear words I know. Shithead.
So why me? You could have chosen anyone to be the scapegoat.
Oh no, it had to be you. You see, you play a critical part in the completion of my time machine. Or rather, your memories do.
What are you saying?
The best part is that I've already got what I need from you.
Of course. So that strange device.
Finally catching on, eh? Those glasses you put on were a cognitive capture unit of my own design. In layman's terms, a memory recorder.
But what use could you possibly have for my memories?
Why, they provide me with data, of course. Your memories contain all the information I need to recreate that fateful day's experiment.
Which day?
The day I lost everything that mattered to me.
I still don't understand what you're getting at.
I'd imagine you know quite a bit about loss yourself, Herschel. Think, man. I'm talking about Claire.
Claire.
As you know, time travel is based on movement through wormholes.
As we all know.
One end of the wormhole is anchored in the present. But every wormhole also needs a point of origin. And to find this point of origin, one needs data. Both you and Bill had substantial interactions with Claire on the day of the accident. Using your memories of those interactions, I will triangulate the point right before her death. Of course, finding a wormhole's point of origin is no easy task. If my calculations were even the slightest bit off, I could be trapped. Forever.
Then why take the risk? What do you stand to gain?
Everything. You see, like you, Herschel, I loved Claire.
So you intend to travel back through time and save her?
Surely you wouldn't stop me. After all, haven't you wished for this yourself?
Nothing can excuse the kidnapping of all those scientists. Not even this, Dmitri.
You disappoint me. I had hoped a rational man like yourself would understand that the ends justify the means.
Ooh, that's a philosophical L there, my friend.
I don't see it that way.
Then what's your next move? Turn me into the police? I'd like to see you try.
Then let's have a duel, right here and now. Not with swords or guns, but puzzles. Get those sweet violins, baby. You're mistaken in thinking I came here to report you to the authorities. I'm here to put an end to the schemes of the man who dragged my good name through the dirt. Ha! That's a lovely sentiment, Herschel, but you seem to have forgotten one key detail. The towering pagoda is my stronghold, and that means you're on my turf. I have more than enough men here to overpower you. Look here. This 18th century relief illustrates our situation perfectly. It displays two warring factions of 5 troops. The stars indicate the strength of each troop. Your side is more or less accurately represented by the red, and mine by the gray. It should be fairly clear to you who the victor will be. The gray side has more powerful troops. There's no way Red could win. Exactly. Your apprentice has a good head on his shoulders, Herschel. Personally, I think it's a bit premature to praise him in this case, Dmitri. From what I can see, our troops wouldn't lose the fight provided this battle is fought one-on-one. Our troops wouldn't lose the fight provided the battle is fought one-on-one. It sounds to me like you simply don't wish to admit defeat. If you believe it possible, prove it. Each troop will engage one troop from the other side in one-on-one combat. Pair each of your red troops against one from the opposing gray forces. Your troops are marked with an icon of Professor Layton. The strength of each troop is represented by the number of stars on its banner. Arrange your forces so that the red side avoids defeat. When you're ready to submit your answer, tap OK. Two losses, 2 wins, and 1 draw for everybody. There. Each side wins 2 fights, loses 2 fights, and ties 1. It's a perfect draw. Of course! What the red side lacks in the strength of its troops, it can make up for with strategy. Your logic has impressed me once again.
Very nicely done, Herschel.
Give it up, Dmitri!
Phoenix right
Give
moment.
it up. Oh, no. I'm just getting started.
Who is that?
Boo.
Hawks.
We hate your
As you
pussy.
can see, my hostage here is something of a big shot. So I wouldn't try anything funny if I were you.
You're a monster!
Oh no.
Really, Herschel? Did you not expect me to install a floor cage? That's like Supervillain 101. Prime Minister Bill Hawks, who was unaccounted for after the time machine accident, is discovered by Professor Layton in the future London. Abducted by Dmitri, the Prime Minister is now being held prisoner. Will the heroes be able to rescue him? Oh no, we're trapped! Punished. Venom Triton.
I hate to disappoint you, but it seems you've failed to ensnare the genuine article.
Professor? How'd you get there?
Your mom lets you have 2 professors?
Just what is going on here? Why are there 2 of you?
Which one is the real professor?
What? Don Paolo?
If he's in here,
Then where's the real professor?
this is getting far too complicated.
Yeah, what's going on?
Take note, Luke. A true gentleman never plays his ace in the hole until absolutely necessary.
Hey, Layton, here's an idea for you. Why don't you quit it with the lectures and get me out of here?
Help us, Professor!
Be patient, Luke. I just need to find a way past this lock.
This cell door will open if you simply press the right button. Here's how to find it. Think of the buttons as squares on a grid. From wherever you start, move from one square to another in the direction dictated by each symbol. A star means go left, a moon means go right, a sun means go down, and a drop of water means go up. There's only one button you can start from and reach all of the others by following the rules listed above. Push that button and then tap submit. Sheesh. Okay, let's starting from here. Right, up, left, up, right, up, left, down, left, up. Now we've missed these 2. Alright, so it's this guy.
That should do the trick. Few things satisfy like a puzzle solved.
It would seem the tables have turned on you, Dmitri. Given your penchant for logical thinking, I'd say you're deluded about the current situation. Look around you. In case you haven't noticed, you're deep within the family's headquarters. I only need say the word, and my men will come rushing to my aid. You underestimate me, Dmitri. Do you think I'd be so naive as to set foot in your base without a plan of my own? Meaning? This building is fascinating in its complexity. I saw plenty of spots where one might conceal a trap or the like. On my way here, I set up a few diversions of my own. Call for your henchmen if you like. I imagine most of them will have their hands full for at least a few more minutes. Clever, Herschel. Very clever. Come on, boss. We gotta run. It seems I must concede defeat today, but this is far from over. I look forward to seeing you when our paths cross next. They're much faster than I imagined. There's no chance for us catching them. Oh no. What's wrong? Dmitri and his men managed to abscond with the Prime Minister in the midst of all this commotion. No more Bill Hawks. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound so good. Dimitri's activated an alarm. Family members from the area are going to flood this place before long. There's the distinct possibility we may have to fight our way out of the towering pagoda. Now, I can take one aged, vampire man just fine, but, multiple families with guns? But didn't you take care of Dimitri's henchmen on the way in, Professor? Not quite, I'm afraid. What few diversions I managed to set up will only buy us a few more minutes. The path we took on the way in is most likely swarming with family thugs now. Our only hope is to find some sort of an emergency escape route. Dmitri is a prudent man. He may have one hidden in this room somewhere. We must search this place thoroughly. Aha! There's a trapdoor here. I'm glad my hunch was right. This is our ticket out of here. Oof, this stairwell is awfully narrow, and there's more than one path. Which way do we go, Layton? Look, there's a map here that charts out the network of channels below us. Let me see. My, this is a bit of a tangled mess, isn't it? God, they're just like back-to-back-to-back puzzles. The dark maze of tunnels below. You can't turn unless you hit a wall. Following this rule, you reach the goal without taking the same path twice or running into any dead ends. Dead ends? Dead ends. Which route should you take? Draw a line to plan your escape. Okay. Can't turn unless you hit a wall. Dead end. I don't understand. Well, let's try working it backwards then. How do you have to approach the exit here? Oh, can you go down from the starting point? So I just kind of assumed like it had you facing forward and you couldn't change direction unless you hit the wall, so... But let's try that then. That gets us there.
Let's see if I've got this right. Just as I suspected.
The passages below are too narrow for all of us to move through at the same time. If we wish to get out of here quickly, we'll need to split into two groups. I don't like it, but it seems we've got no choice. Now, who should I take with me? You always get to be the gentleman. This time, let me escort the young lady. Didn't you try and, like, kill her in the first game? Sorry, but I'd prefer you're coming with me, Don Paolo. Very well, then. Flora and I will break off. Luke, you go with the professor and help him keep an eye on Don Paolo. Little Luke, trade with me. I want to be in the professor's group. Flora, we'll see each other soon enough. Go with bigger Luke and we'll meet back at the hotel. Alright, our groups are set. Let's get moving. Ouch! What did I just run into? Let me guess. A wall? let me feel. This might actually be a door. Oh yeah, it is. There's a handle here. Phew. Great. Now where are we? We're at the bottom of an emergency stairwell. There should be a way out of the building here somewhere. This place is kind of a dump. This door should take us outside. Not even a puzzle about it? Well, look at that. We made it out. The family is bound to have men in the vicinity. We need to put some distance between us and the pagoda. Leave Chinatown. Got it, boss.
I still don't understand why Don Paolo's here. Can someone please explain that to me?
Always with the questions. Won't you put a lid on it for a few minutes, you brat?
I most certainly will not.
Honestly, you two, would you please stop bickering? You're on the same side.
And while I'm getting things off my chest, why the heck did I have to play the decoy who gets caught?
Come now, Paul. It wasn't that bad.
Paul?
Your role was certainly the more exciting one.
Professor, you still haven't explained what happened back there.
I knew we'd be monitored from the moment we stepped foot inside the pagoda. So I wanted to make sure we had at least one trick up our collective sleeve. Don Paolo, master of deception and disguise, seemed like the perfect man to employ for the task.
You two are friends? That's the first I've heard of this.
Professor, he tried to, kill us!
Ha! Don't get it confused, kid. I'm no friend of his. We both want answers to the same questions, so we decided to work together. That's all.
When did this start?
Tell me, Luke, when we visited Dr. Schrader, did anything he said strike you as strange?
No, not really.
It was his greeting that made me suspicious.
Huh?
Who's that? Oh, it's you, Herschel. And little Luke.
Sure, I remember it. But what of it?
He didn't seem terribly surprised to see little Luke, did he?
Oh, of course. In the future, I'm not a kid anymore. But the doctor didn't even notice.
Precisely.
That means Dr. Schrader was...
Don Paolo in disguise, yes.
So you knew he was a fake before he even said 4 sentences. Wow, you're good, Professor.
That planted the seed of doubt, though I didn't confirm my suspicion until much later.
Did Don Paolo pose as anyone else?
Yes, he did a bit of spying on us as Dean Del Mona when we met him last. From the moment I laid eyes on him, it was obvious we were dealing with an imposter.
Amazing. How did you know?
His white hair gave it away.
But white hair seems perfectly natural on a man his age.
Not if he wears a toupee.
Not if he wears a wig. He let me in on his secret some time ago. He's been bald for ages. Don Paolo mistakenly selected a white wig to show how much Dean Del Mona had aged.
Wow, nice work there, Professor.
Shortly after that, I confronted Don Paolo and had him tell me everything. It seems Dmitri had been paying him quite handsomely to make sure we headed toward the pagoda. I filled Don Paolo in on all the strange happenings we've witnessed here. And then I requested his assistance in solving this mystery.
Well, that all makes sense, I suppose. But the part I still don't get is why Don Paulo decided he wanted to help us. After all, this is the fellow who tried to run us over with a Ferris wheel.
That's none of your business, brat.
Come on, you try to run over a kid with a Ferris wheel one time and suddenly he hates you forever.
Hey, call me a brat again and just see what happens.
It was Claire, Luke. It all had to do with Claire.
The woman Dimitri was talking about?
Claire was my girlfriend back when I was just starting my academic career.
He says girlfriend like it's a dirty word.
She was a researcher who worked in the same laboratory as Dimitri.
Laboratory.
Oh no! So she...
Yes. The last time I saw her, she was on her way to the lab the day of that massive explosion. The oddest thing is that the accident received very little media coverage. It's clear someone with a lot of influence was suppressing information about the incident. I did everything I could to research the matter on my own. My efforts were largely fruitless.
I had no idea.
It's likely that Dimitri feels he is to blame for Claire's death. His obsession with going back in time seems like a twisted version of atonement.
What a terribly sad story. But what does it have to do with Don Paulo?
Well, Luke, as it turns out, Dimitri and I weren't the only ones with strong feelings for Claire.
No way! You mean
she had a magic pussy?
What? Don't act so surprised. I have feelings too, you know.
Thanks for meeting me on such short notice, Herschel.
Oh, no. It's my pleasure.
Here, this is for you.
What is it?
A letter, of course. Read it at home.
Why don't you just tell me what it says? I'm right here, after all.
My, you're making this quite difficult. What I want to say is, well, in short, this.
He got traumatized from witnessing that one kiss that his hair permanently spiked.
LAYTON! You will pay for this someday!
What was that?
He just walked on. Okay, yeah, I guess I'm like, given how
LAYTON has
pissed
been
off,
my arch
like,
nemesis ever since that fateful day.
given like how pissed off he, like, when you reveal him in Curious Village and he's like, "You'll pay for this, Legion. You know what you did to me," and it's just this.
I see.
Okay, and this is literally what Zero Pussy does to a motherfucker.
Yes, though it's worth mentioning that I had no inkling of Paul's crush until he told me himself. He was in the year above me at university. Imagine
He was
my
bald
surprise
even then.
when I learned that Don Paulo was none other than my old classmate, Paul.
I had no idea you'd been through so much. Sorry for being so mean to you, Paul.
You tried to kill a 12-year-old and he's apologizing to you.
Ugh. Spare me your sappy sympathy. And my name is Don Paulo. Address me as such, boy.
He sounds like the episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob, like, was learning to stand up for himself and he discovered his abrasive side. That's what he sounds like.
Anyway, you put on quite the performance, Don Paulo. With you distracting Dimitri, I had just enough time to do some sleuthing in the area.
So that's what you were up to while we were climbing the pagoda. Did you find anything?
Yes, but I need to confirm a few facts before I can connect all the dots.
Then it sounds like that should be our next move. Where to, Professor?
Oh, I'll let you ponder that for yourself. But first, we should head back to the hotel. Flora and the other Luke are waiting for us there.
Alright. And here is where we're gonna stop for this evening. So, on Friday, we'll pick up with Chapter 10, Across the Thames. Missed out on a lot of puzzles this time, whoops. So, thanks y'all for staying tuned this time. Hope y'all enjoy that big reveal. And, I hope everyone has a good night, and I'll see you all on Friday night. Yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern, the usual deal. Alright. Good night, y'all.